Hello everybody and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Sauron Wave Wolverine. Here we have Wolverine in the front window box displayed with her alternate head. We get the name down at the bottom, the X logo at the top. We get some very cool artwork on both sides of Wolverine, and then on the back we get a product shot as well as all the other figures needed in this wave to complete the Sauron Build-A-Figure. And at the top we do have the read-up. Laura Kinney uses assassin training paired with powerful claws to take down anyone who makes the mistake of crossing her. And at the bottom we do have the UPC code, so you can check with your local retailer to see if they have this in stock. But enough about that, let's get this open and take a look at Wolverine. And here is Wolverine outside of her packaging. And I think they did a really great job with this figure, keeping true to what I've seen from the Marvel comics for this. I love this tiger stripe version of her uniform. I think it is really cool. I do have a few complaints regarding like the facial expressions, especially on this masked head. I would have liked to seen something like what we saw with the X-Force Wolverine, with the just more aggressive look to her. We still get like the sweeping hair as opposed to the hair just laying flat, which is kind of cool. But yeah, there's a couple things that could have made this figure just a little bit better. But let's go ahead and take a look real quick at the unmasked head in our close details, and then of course we'll look at this head in closer detail as well, and then we'll just continue on with the rest of the figure. So starting first here with the unmasked head sculpt, and I think this looks great. It's not just another reused, it's not another Silk head sculpt or Psylocke or Mary Jane or anything like that. We get a completely different looking head sculpt. At least I think it is. I guess I didn't really compare, but honestly I don't recall seeing it look like this before. At the very least, the paint is very well done, so I think that looks awesome. The hair looks great as well, just flat down, nothing crazy. So this works as just sort of a standard vanilla pose. And then of course just pops off, and actually I will say I'm being very careful when I take it off because I don't want to mess with those the claws at all. And then we get the alternate head. There we go. And taking a look here at that, some painting opportunities. We can see like the blue did go down a little bit where the flesh tone is. She's got a little bit of blue on her chin there. The lips looks like maybe the paint's not perfectly lined up. Same thing with the eyes, but from a distance you can never really tell those issues. But otherwise the head sculpt came out looking great. The hair I think looks really cool. Again, we get that blowing in the wind effect, which I think is good. I would have liked a different expression, something maybe with her, teeth showing, but oh well, what are you going to do? Going down the rest of the figure, so we have a couple of issues with, I think maybe it was this arm. Yeah, right there. Some of the blue kind of bleeding through on that yellow arm piece, and it doesn't exactly line up. And same thing over there, doesn't exactly line up. Tiger stripes looks okay. Belt looks okay. Most of the line work doesn't look bad. Looking right there though at the diaphragm, this top portion is thinner than the bottom portion. So again, doesn't exactly line up. Same thing on the back. And then this is where I was talking about some of the other issues that I have with it. The legs, you can see the yellow doesn't line up. And if I make it line up, you can see that the thighs are not positioned where they should be. And in fact, you can kind of pull these out to make it lined up. But you can, again, tell that the thigh cut is not aligned. You can see the gap there. And then, of course, you get that nasty gap there from having to pull the legs out. So that is kind of a bummer that by default, we have a lot of line joints or line colors that don't match up. So that is a bummer. The claws, we've seen Wolverine claws before, both on the male and female versions. These are no different. They do come out if you did want to have the claws out, but you will have those openings in the hand sculpt, so you will have that. Going down, the boots are pretty cool. They actually have a boot cut, which I know I'll mention in the articulation, but that's kind of cool that it's hidden underneath that sculpt work. But the boots look good, and then the toe blade, foot blade, whatever you want to call it, looks pretty cool, and those are removable as well. but you'll be left with that opening also. So it just depends on what you want to have displayed there. And taking a look at Wolverine here, we can see very much like father, like daughter. She's coming in at about 5.5 inches tall, so she's a little bit shorter. We do have a head that can go all the way around. We do have a hinge, so she can bury her head a decent amount. It can look up a little ways because the hair, since it's to the side, does give you a little bit to go back, so that's not bad. You do have arms that can go all the way up. Yeah, look at that, all the way up. You do, of course, rotation at the arms. You do have elbows, single jointed and with rotation at the elbow. You do have a rotation and hinge at the wrist. She does have a diaphragm joint that can go backwards, side to side, but it doesn't go forward, at all, at least not on mine. I don't want to force it. Can go back a little ways. Bring that arm down. You do have legs that can go apart that far. Kick forward. Ooh, boy. Yeah, not very far at all. Can't kick back very far. You do have a upper thigh cut, double jointed knee, and as I mentioned before, you do have a boot cut in there that does do some, you know what, maybe it's not really full. Yeah, no, that's rotation, at least enough. And then she does have a hinge and ankle pivot. And here we have all the figures in this wave, including the Build-A-Figure. We have the boxer shorts Deadpool, Bishop, Lady Deadpool along with Headpool, Wolverine, Omega Red, and then the X-Men suited Deadpool, and then Sauron in the back. And that about does it for this review, guys. And overall, as I mentioned, I think this is an excellent figure to get, especially for the modern Marvel series that we're starting to see. So some of the all new, all different types of characters and reimaginings of characters. And I have no problem with this version of Wolverine, and I love the tiger stripe inspired costume. Like I mentioned, I just wish we would have gotten a different expression, but otherwise, the figure actually holds up well. Right now, that's actually being held by the foot peg, so that's pretty impressive that not only can it hold that angle, but it's holding it with one foot. So that's actually pretty cool. You can do some decent poses with this. I think I took this one from one of the covers, so very cool. But aside from that, thanks for checking out my video, guys. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to see more content just like this, and aside from that, have a great day.